Is this a piece that's going to stand alone, or is it part of the album structure? Or
one idea I had in mind is that it's a sampler for the album.
But not on the album?
It's not on the album.
Because it won't be finished to the same complexity or quality, but it will contain all the same elements that we're using.
The sounds we're using at the moment, the approach we're using at the moment.
Today we've been trying to make a whole track in 4 hours or so, which is very, very alien. Normally we create a lot of material and then sift through it at leisure to create an arrangement. Today we've been trying to do all that, but much quicker, and get the whole track together with revisits and overdubs as necessary.
So what's happening today is a dramatically accelerated version of what Darkroom would normally do. Typically Els would come here, we'd record guitar, he would take that back to his own studio, assemble it at his leisure, come up with something, and that would be done completely independently of me, and then he'd present me with an arrangement which we'd then work on together.
So the structure's got to be kind of, because if it isn't, I think that kind of blows a hole in the kind of let's get it done in a day kind of thing.
Some of what we do is completely improvised. We do concerts which are 2 or 3 hours long, which are entirely improvised. It's made there in the moment.
I mean, we do gigs that last for hours at a time, and when you're playing in 30-minute chunks, it's very easy to have space to explore ideas. This is Wednesday night's gig. We managed to play a 68-minute track.
You're prog legends.
The new album, the original idea was that it was going to be a very ambient, swoopy, loopy album, in contrast to the last one, which touched on rock in places. That has completely not happened.
The original brief for the album was it was going to be much more ambient, much more textural. But that was a starting point, and in fact we've moved quite a long way away from that. Now what I'm expecting is there'll be much more in terms of bass and pulse. There's going to be a different range of guitar textures, but also Oz has invested quite heavily in modular synthesis, in analog synthesis, and that's given us a whole new range of textures. We can feed my guitar through it, he can process it with software he's written. It gives us a completely different scope for what we can do.
Tangerine Dream to 808 state in one easy move.
One knob. In 2008 we released an album called Some of These Numbers Mean Something, which was us trying to work in a different way. Previously what we've been doing was building up improvisations, live looping guitar, cutting that and assembling it into something finished, but having something that was essentially linear. It was what we played. And the idea in a way was to do something that was much bigger in scope.
I think the main difference we have is that so much of it is based around guitar, and that lends it a very organic sound. And I think certainly one of the key things that I feel about the last album, and people have said to me, is that it sounds, although it's a bedroom electronic-y type album, it sounds like somebody's playing it rather than programming it. And I think that the sense that the album is played or performed rather than just copied and pasted and put in on the computer is kind of key. I'm all about the music for what it is and the beauty of it, really. If something sounds good, then I'm happy with it. I'm not big on kind of concept albums or what have you, unless the concept is this must sound sweet. So I listen to a huge amount of jazz. I don't know if that comes out, probably not, but I think maybe it gives me a higher tolerance for strangeness in my music.